Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Viewhouse Centennial for a very special Xfinity Monday Live. This is such a treat tonight. We have got the one and only, the legendary, the GOAT. There's not enough words to describe Marc Johnson, fresh off another high school state championship and newly retired. Thank you so much, Jay Bird, for joining us. This is an honor.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here.
Well, we are so excited. And, you finish an incredible 52-year career with a state championship. Now, a lot of people end their careers and you miss out on that last big moment, that last big game. It's rare to go out on a championship. What is that like to punctuate your career with that?
It's surreal, to be honest with you, because every coach that's ever coached any distance of, time, any amount of time, would love to finish with a win. Mm-hmm. And we were fortunate enough to finish and win with a championship. Do very little to me, but I had a group of kids that really wanted to be as good as they could be. One thing we talked about a lot is we weren't worried about winning a state championship. We were worried about being the best we could be, and we hoped that winning a championship would be a byproduct.
Talk us through, you took on a really tough opponent, Regis, a team that had beat you earlier in the tournament, and you knew it was going to be tough. Then you had an incredible two-game sweep. What was the message? How did you get the kids to buy in, to believe that they could win and win in such an instrumental fashion?
Well, we didn't know we could win in such an instrumental fashion. We knew. I told them before the game, I said, we prepared ourselves. I tried to parallel it to the ACT and the SAT test. I said, you're preparing for what I call the BAT, the Baseball Achievement Test, the BAT. And I said, we're going to find out who we are and how good we are. And all I ask of you is to be the best that you can be. And then the last thing I said, we respect Regis, we respect their program, we respect the players, we respect their coaching staff. We're tremendous rivals. But not today. Today is our day. And apparently they bought into it. I can't explain how, why, or whatever, but we came in with, they're going to have to beat us. Our goal was not to beat ourselves.
Well, it was an absolutely incredible win. I know you don't like to take credit, but I think you certainly played a big part of that. Coach, when you look at your 52-year career, you've got all the state titles, all 872 wins, all of these kids, the wins, the losses, the game. What do you leave with the most as you now head on to whatever the next chapter might be?
I leave with this, relationships over championships. The relationships you develop. I often tell people, and I've told it in speaking engagements and so forth, the trophies, they're awesome. They gather dust. The memories last forever.
I like that. I don't know if you saw that. Young MJ over there. With that. I like that.
Got the stash.
The mustache. But you didn't. When did the stash go away?
It went away about 10, 15 years ago.
Let me ask you.
When everything started going away.
Let me ask you, because I think there's a lot of young coaches that want to make it a really long career. What would be your advice, some pearls of wisdom for people hoping to make a long coaching career?
Plan on having to do a lot of extra work, a lot of extra time. Plan on loving as much as you possibly can the players that you have for the amount of time that you have. And I think most of all to understand that as a high school coach, you're not going to make lots of money, but the possible impact that you have is off the charts. And you just hope that what you give and what you try to do, that they take and try to pass it on the best that they can. And there's a lot of adversity that you have to deal with. And it's very lifelike, a lot of ups and downs. But if you love the sport and you love kids and you love the 17 and 18-year-old mentality and you can handle it, it's been a huge blessing for me.
That's incredible, and a huge blessing for all of the kids lucky enough to be coached by you. We're so lucky tonight. We got Marc Johnson, Jay Bird, Coach. You might know him by a few names in the house tonight. We got a lot more coming up here on Xfinity Monday Live. Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live here at the View House Centennial, and just such a joy tonight to have Jaybird coach Marc Johnson in the house, fresh off his 9th state championship, riding off into the sunset. And you have sent more than 450 kids to college, so many kids to the pros. It's hard to just pick a few of your star players. I feel like it's almost unfair, but we're going to do our best. And I want to start with World Series champion Brad Lidge. What did you notice about him when you coached him?
Several things. First of all, a quality human being. Secondly, it's a great story, but when he was a junior, I had to tell him, you're not going to hit in our lineup, but you have a really good arm. And can you handle the fact that you're going to be a pitcher? Well, he went on, got drafted in the 30-something round out of high school, went on to Notre Dame, became a first-round draft. As you can see, won the World Series 2007. But the two things about him is competitor, but more importantly, just a really good, fine human being.
And it both count so much, and you can tell that you have such an impact on who these young men become, which is incredible. Darnell McDonald is a name that anybody who knows Colorado baseball knows him as good a football player as he was a baseball player. Have you ever had a player more explosive than him?
In fact, he's probably the best athlete that I've ever coached in high school. I mean, just gifted by God's gift. He was an incredible football player. I believe he could have played in the NFL. He did play in the major leagues, and another just wonderful quality person. I'm so proud of these guys, but to me, every player that ever played for me is a Hall of Famer. But these guys are the guys that had some God gifts that were able to go on with their careers.
With kids like that, did you know it from when they were at Creek that they had the potential, or do they have to grow into it?
Brad Lidge had to grow into it. Darnell McDonald in the 8th grade looked to me like he had a chance to be a professional baseball player. He was just God-gifted, strength-wise, body-wise, and yet you also have to have the passion. And these players had lots and lots of passion. Josh Bard, the bullpen coach with the Dodgers, just massive, great guy, passionate, love the game. These guys, they love the game today. In fact, some parents have fun with me and say, you made our sons baseball people. They want to be in the baseball world. And Brad's just leaving the baseball world to become an archaeologist, which is pretty exciting in itself. So I've been very blessed, gifted with a lot of great collegiate players, but more important than that is the human beings that they are, what kind of people that they have become, and they're trying to do what they do best. And you have to have passion and purpose, and I think baseball helps you with that because there's a lot of ups and downs, and you just really have to understand what is it, who am I, and what is it that I want and what I would like to be.
Well, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing those stories with us. Such a cool to get that kind of insight on those players we feel like we all know so well. We got so much more coming up here on Xfinity Monday Live with Coach Marc Johnson, but we got to take a break right now. Send it over to the studio where we find Michael Spencer, known to swing a bat in his day, I believe.
Not very well, Romy, but every once in a while.
And it's time now for The People Want to Know. The People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. Coach, we got some good questions. Sarah wants to know, what was your biggest pet peeve as a coach?
Somebody that was very, very skilled that didn't want to work hard. Because the people that did work hard, that knew they had to in order to compete. So that was always a bit of a pet peeve for me.
Tommy wants to know, because baseball players can be pretty superstitious. As a coach, did you have any pregame superstitions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wore everything for every game we won. I wore exactly the same thing. Regardless of what it was, and the only thing that changed was the color of the uniform if we were visitor or away. But yeah, baseball players are very superstitious.
Very superstitious.
Yeah.
Did you wash the clothes, though?
We did.
Oh, okay. So,
I did.
Okay.
There were times in my life, though, where I thought maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Only because we were doing well.
Well, I think it worked out pretty well that you did wash the clothes.
It did.
That was great. That was The People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit. We got one more break here on Xfinity Monday Live. Coming up next, we're going to find out what's next for the greatest coach in Colorado, but we are just beyond thrilled tonight to have, I'm forever going to call you Coach Marc Johnson of the Cherry Creek Bruins. 52 years you coached, you mentored so many young men. So the question is, what's next, Jay Bird?
Well, let me take a moment to say something about you before I do that. You were kind enough when we asked you to speak at our Hall of Fame banquet, which is a big deal with our baseball program, and you were kind enough to accept that. Absolutely did a remarkable job. And I want to thank you for that, knowing that you're a Cherry Creek High School graduate, but it was phenomenal, and I honestly want to thank you for that, because it meant the world to us. It meant the world to the Cherry Creek program, and to have somebody like you do that is great. As far as your question is concerned, I want to, think about it for a little bit. I've had some opportunities to possibly do some things. I've got a grandson that's still playing in Phoenix. I'd like to watch him play. I may volunteer to help somebody, work a little bit. I may do some speaking engagements possibly, but at the same point, I think I want to kind of just gather myself and figure out which direction I can go. But I do want to try to go a direction where I can have some positive impact on people, and particularly the people at the ages that I worked with.
So we could say to be determined, and we can't wait to see what's next. And thank you for those kind words. It was truly my honor, Jay Bird, to be part of that event, to be part of everything that you have created at Creek and in Colorado baseball. You are a legend. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. This has been a true honor.
It's been an honor for me to be on Channel 4.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with Marc Johnson, head coach of your Cherry Creek Bruins, newly retired, but 52 years of coaching, of mentoring, of making an immense impact on the Colorado community. Coach, I got to ask, has it sunk in yet that you're retired? You can do whatever you want now.
Yeah, actually it has. I'm at peace with it. I'll never not love the game, but I knew it was time. Things were getting harder for me. I still love working with youth and talking to them and relating, trying to create relationships. But from the baseball, I'll be around. They'll see me at ballparks, and I'll be around because I absolutely love the game. It's been really, really good to me.
Well, and you have given so much to the game. What are you most proud of when you think on your career?
Relationships. That for me, that's the championships are great, and the wins are great, but it's the memories, it's the relationships, it's to watch the kids as they further their lives and what they do with it, and you just hope that you've made some kind of an impact that will help them.
Well, and you finished truly riding off into the sunset. Your 9th state championship, your very last games, you go off as a champion. But you told me that you had players from every decade that you coached surprise you at the game. What was it like to have all of them there?
It was very humbling. It was. I was stunned by what I thought was respect, that they were there, that they respected not only me, but the program, the whole baseball situation. And as I said before, very, very humbling.
Jay Bird, I think a lot of people want to know, because we know you're a proud greenskeepers too. Are you still going to be taking care of the lawn even if you're not there? The field?
I don't plan on it, but if the coach called me and said he needed a little bit of help, I'd probably go up and mow or do a little greens work.
I love it. Well, we can't wait to see what's next. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight. Coach, it's been such an honor.
It's been an honor for me, and I want to just tell the Cherry Creek community what an honor it's been for me to have the opportunity to work with their young people. And like I said, it's been an absolute blessing for me.
I don't think you'll ever truly know how big of an impact you've made, but everybody knows. So thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thanks for logging on. We will see you guys next time.